2023, bringing together a diverse group of stakeholders from India and Germany. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the keynote address at the News9 Global Summit, where he shall outline his vision for a Vikasit Bharat. In other headlines, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is in Delhi to discuss legalities in the Muda case with lawyer Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Karnataka Lokayukta raids 25 locations belonging to 4 government officers in a disproportionate assets case. BJP protest in Haveri against the state government over seizure of farmers' land by Govt board. Bengaluru police to file additional charges against actor Darshan in Renuka Swamy murder case after recovery of 2 photos from the scene of murder. Alright, that's the news. The News9 Global Summit, the Germany edition in Stuttgart. The wait is finally over, ladies and gentlemen, as the much anticipated News9 Global Summit 2024 kicks off today in Stuttgart, Germany at the iconic MHP Arena. This year's edition, organized by India's largest news network, TV9 Network, and co-hosted by Bundesliga's VIB Stuttgart, is set to predefine India-Germany relations with a focus on sustainable growth. Over the next 3 days, top names from the corporate world, sports and government will gather to explore new avenues of collaboration under the theme India and Germany, a roadmap for sustainable growth. But that's not all. In a moment of great honor, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, shall deliver a special virtual keynote address, lending his visionary perspective to this pioneering initiative. And now let's take you through all the stories that we are focusing on in this show. The South Indian First Stop coming on your screens right now. Panic grips residents of Hyderabad, Siddiqui Nagar as the 5-story building dangerously tilts to the side. Several people feared injured in the mishap. BJP threatens to lock up government offices if Karnataka government cancels legit BPL cards. Karnataka Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa questioned by a student for not speaking Kannada, and enraged Bangarappa orders action. Charges at government hospitals in Karnataka hiked. All right, that's our top story, and I know we've seen it often. We saw it recently in Karnataka, in Bengaluru particularly, but this is Hyderabad. Panic grips Hyderabad as a 5-story building tilts dangerously. We shall show you, of course, the visual of it. This happened, like I said, in Hyderabad, a 5-story building in Siddiq Nagar, Gachibowli, which tilted precariously on the 19th November. It wasn't as if it was an old building, ladies and gentlemen. It was all of 2 years old and had 12 apartments in all. But then it developed cracks, and it is being said that the reason could be excavation work which was being carried out at an adjacent 200 square yard plot. The GHMC decided to act swiftly and evacuated over 50 residents and then demolished the structure on Wednesday. Look at the building. We'll get you all the visuals of how precariously the building tilted. And for more on this, let me now go across to Noor Mohammed, my colleague, who's reporting live from Hyderabad. Noor, ये बताइए कि ये इसको देख के दिल में दहशत हमें आ रही है. क्या हुआ, क्यों हुआ, कितने लोग थे, कितनों इंजर्ड थे, अभी अस्पताल में भर्ती हैं, वगैरह वगैरह. हमारे व्यूअर्स को बताइए. टेल आवर व्यूअर्स, नूर.
देखिए, हैदराबाद का सबसे महंगा इलाका है गच्चीबोली वाला इलाका. ये वो इलाका है जहाँ पे पूरी सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री रहा करती है. दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ पे आया करते हैं और सबसे ज़्यादा महंगा इलाका माना जाता है. मेरा कैमरामैन आपको बताने की कोशिश करेंगे. देखिए, जहाँ पर जेसीबी अब जिस इमारत को तोड़ रही है, यहाँ पे G+4 इमारत रहा करती थी. इस इमारत के अंदर कई राज्यों के जो जॉब करने वाले थे वो रहा करते थे. देखिए, उसके बाद जो ओपन ज़मीन है जहाँ पे मलबा पूरा डाला जा रहा है, यहाँ पे 100 गज की एक ओपन लैंड थी. इस 100 गज का जो ओपन लैंड का जो मालिक था, उसने अपनी खुदाई की यहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम करने के लिए. उसने 10 फीट डीप खोदने के बाद जो इमारत जो बाजू बनी हुई थी, वो इमारत अचानक ढल जाती है. देखिए, वो पूरी इमारत भरी हुई थी. उसके बाद अचानक जैसे ही वो इमारत ढल जाती है, उसके बाद लोग आहताहरी मच जाती है. उसके बाद पूरी बिल्डिंग को अचानक खाली कर दिया जाता है. उसके बाद जितने भी जो अंदर जो लोग थे वो पूरे बाहर आ गए. उनके जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट, जो सामग्री, जो फ़ोन, यहाँ तक के कपड़े जो कुछ थे, वो तमाम के तमाम बाहर आ गए. मैं आपको बताने की कोशिश करूँगा. देखिए, ये वही इमारत है. देखिए, जिस तरह की वो सामग्री है, फ़ोन है, किसी का भगोना है, यहाँ तक कि उन्होंने वे तमाम चीज़ें छोड़कर अपनी जानें बचाते हुए बाहर निकला था. और फिर वक्त ग्रेटर हैदराबाद म्यूनसिपल कॉरपोरेशन ने यह फैसला किया कि अब इस इमारत का यहाँ पे रहना ठीक नहीं है. उसके बाद म्यूनसिपल कॉरपोरेशन की जो टेक्निकल टीम है, उस टीम ने इस पूरी इमारत का मुआयना करने के बाद ये डिसीजन लिया है कि इस इमारत को तोड़ दिया जाए. देखिए, कल सुबह से लेकर इस इमारत को तोड़ा जा रहा है. बड़ी मुश्किल हो रही है. देखिए, एक तरफ यहाँ पे भी आपको मेरे लेफ्ट साइड में बताऊंगा कि G+6 वाली इमारत है, और जो है पूरी की पूरी इमारतें हैं. बहुत एहतियात के साथ ग्रेटर हैदराबाद म्यूनसिपल कॉरपोरेशन के अधिकारी तोड़ दिया जा रहे हैं. देखिए, ये जो पुरानी इमारतें यहीं पे खोदा गया था, 10 फीट अंदर खोदने की वजह से उस इमारत के अंदर बहुत सारी कंस्ट्रक्शन का प्रॉब्लम आया था, जिसकी वजह से यही वो इलाका है जहाँ पे ये पिलर के लिए खोदा गया था. उसके बाद इस इमारत के अंदर पूरे डैमेज होने की वजह से इस इमारत को तोड़ दिया गया है. और जितने भी राज्यों के उसके अंदर किराएदार थे, उन्होंने अपना पूरा सामान, यहाँ तक के सर्टिफिकेट, फ़ोन और कपड़े तक छोड़कर यहाँ के चले गए. और फिर वक्त अधिकारी ये बता रहे हैं कि आज रात तक ये काम चलते रहेगा, क्योंकि इस इमारत को तोड़ना काफ़ी मुश्किल हो रही है. आसपास की इमारतों को किसी भी तरह का नुकसान ना पहुँचे, इस चीज़ का ख्याल रखते हुए यहाँ के अधिकारी इस पूरी बिल्डिंग को मुनादिम कर दे रहे हैं.
बाकी सब लोग महफूज हैं क्योंकि वहाँ 10 से 12 अपार्टमेंट्स थे, नूर. तो उन लोगों को तो इवैक्यूएट कर दिया गया है, लेकिन सुनने में आया है कि कुछ लोगों को ज़्यादा चोटें आई हैं, नूर.
देखिए, जिस वक्त ये इमारत का इशू हुआ था, इस बिल्डिंग का जो ढल जाने वाला इशू हुआ था, उस वक्त जो लोग जो तेज़ी के साथ जो भागे थे उस वक्त काफ़ी लोग गिरे थे, काफ़ी लोगों को चोटें भी आई थी, मगर इतने ज़्यादा सीरियसली नहीं थी। इस इमारत के ढल जाने के बाद अचानक ये हुआ कि यहाँ के जो अधिकारी थी, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट और ग्रेटर हैदराबाद म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के जो अधिकारी थे, आसपास के तमाम इमारतों को खाली कर दिया है, ताकि ये इमारत का सिचुएशन ऐसा था कि वो किसी भी वक्त ढल जाती थी। जिस तरह के यहाँ की गड्ढे खोदे गए थे, उस गड्ढों को भरने के बाद काफ़ी राहत की सांस मिली, मगर देखते ही देखते वो 25% तो पूरी तरह इमारत ढल गई थी। कल सुबह से लेकर अभी तक इस इमारत को तोड़ने का काम किया जा रहा है, मगर पूरी तरह अभी मुनहदम नहीं किया गया है। जो लोग हल्के से जो जख्मी थे उनको आसपास के दवाखानों में भर दिया गया था, मगर फिलवक्त जो भी पावर यहाँ पे बंद कर दिया गया था, इंटरनेट की सेवाएं और जो भी पावर बंद कर दिया गया, तो वो उसको रिस्टोर किया जा रहा है। और ग्रेटर हैदराबाद म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन पूरी तरह इस पर नज़र बनाए रखी हुई है। देखिए, यहाँ पे सबसे हैरत वाली बात यह है, जिस वक्त ये इमारत बन रहे थे उस वक्त अधिकारियों ने कोई यहाँ पे कार्रवाई नहीं की, मगर जिस ये इमारत के डैमेज होने के बाद एक जो ज़मीन का मालिक है उस पर और जो बिल्डिंग का मालिक है उस पर, दोनों पर भी केस बुक करके और उनकी तहक़ीक़ात कर रही है। मगर फिलवक्त जो नॉर्मल जो जख्मी थे उनका फिलवक्त उनकी कंडीशन नॉर्मल है।
आई वांट टू आस्क यू कि जब कर्नाटका यानी कि बेंगलुरु में स्पेसिफिकली इस तरह की बिल्डिंग्स ढह गई थी, गिर गई थी, तब पहले कहा जा रहा था कि भाई ये बारिश की वजह से हुआ है, लेकिन फिर ये सामने आया कि जो मटेरियल यूज़ होता है बिल्डिंग खड़ा करने के लिए वो इतने ख़राब क्वालिटी का था कि बारिश तो छोड़िए, एक हवा के झोंके से वो बिल्डिंग गिर जाएगी। अभी जो तहकीकात हुई है शुरुआत में, कुछ आया है सामने? क्योंकि अगर साथ में एक्सकवेशन हो रहा है, इस बिल्डिंग का ढह जाना, मुझे कुछ मतलब कि आई एम सरप्राइज्ड। Alright, I think we've lost
देखिए, ग्रेटर हैदराबाद म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के अधिकारियों से जब मेरी बात हुई है, जो पुरानी इमारत है वो 6 फीट उसका डीप था, मतलब 6 फीट खोदने के बाद।
Connection to Noor Mohammed. Thank you, Noor, for joining us on this broadcast. Somehow we've lost connection to you, but what a terrifying story. And you know, this is Hyderabad, like I said, a city which is growing and supposed to have excellent infrastructure in the south of India. Coming up, next story, BJP threatens to lock up government officers if Karnataka government cancels legit BPL cards. That's the story which is coming up next on your screens. That's the story. BJP threatens to lock government offices if legit BPL cards are cancelled. The Karnataka government's drive to cancel ineligible BPL cards and restore those with genuine beneficiaries has run into major hot water and weather. The opposition BJP took a belligerent stand, and leader of opposition in the Legislative Assembly, R. Ashoka, asked the state government to stop the drive to cancel BPL cards and warned that if they don't, then they would lock government offices. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah directed the Food and Civil Supply Department officials not to cancel BPL cards of eligible beneficiaries except those issued to government employees and those who pay taxes. He also added that in case legit BPL cards have got cancelled, they shall be rolled back. Meanwhile, Food and Civil Supplies Minister K.H. Muniappa on Wednesday alleged that BJP is making false allegations just for political mileage and stressed that the state government will not deprive eligible people of their right to BPL cards.
It is not. No, we have got sufficient money to disperse for the DBT. But there is no problem for money. The only thing, while we are doing this one, 1 or 2%, there is a BPL cards is converted into APL. That's why we have today decided, the Honorable Chief Minister has taken a decision, except income tax and the government employees, all the cards to be restored. We have restored. And within 1 week, that will go to the login. Everybody will get the rise after 1 week.
JDS leader and former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy meanwhile attacked the Congress government, saying that it was burdening the common man by cancelling the BPL cards.
Not solve the poor people problem. Where is the fault? Where is the genuinity to safeguard the interest of the common man, poor people? The implementation of food security, that they have to properly actually bring into effect.
Sir, after hiking, you see the petrol and diesel prices. Now the state government is hiking for the treatment and diagnosis test in the Bangalore Medical College and associated hospitals. So the prices are going high. How do you see this, sir?
In all the issues, state government, they have actually putting burden on the government, on the common man, to actually implement that 5 guarantee programs. For that, unnecessarily they are burdening on the common man. This is not good.
And as a retort, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar hit back, saying both the BJP and JDS leaders, including Union Minister Kumaraswamy, have run out of issues to talk about. He said, and I'm quoting D.K. Shivakumar here, they were the ones who did nothing for the poor during their term. Some government employees, income taxpayers and economically well-off people are holding BPL cards. We are only trying to review such cases. The centre has set guidelines to determine poverty, and we will decide basis that. In case the BPL cards have been wrongly cancelled, they will be restored. This has been decided by the Chief Minister. You know what, on News9, we have asked repeatedly if there is a method for the genuine and bogus BPL cards at all. I mean, how do you establish it? Where is the method? Or it's just a process which defies all logic? Let's debate. Satya Prakash, spokesperson for the KPCC, has joined us on this debate, and Dr. Sudha R. Halkai, spokesperson for the BJP in Karnataka. Both of them are through. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Namaskara. I want to first ask Dr. Sudha. Dr. Sudha, this what Mr. R. Ashoka is saying, that they will lock up all government offices. Is there a deadline for that? How soon are you going to start your protest?
We are going to start it as early as possible, Sudha, because what we have seen, I've seen in few of the televisions yesterday, that there is one woman who is undergoing chemotherapy, like she is suffering from cancer, and all of a sudden she goes to the hospital and she sees that her BPL card is cancelled. Where she should go and get the correction for this done, and when she should go and get her chemotherapy done. Her husband is a taxi driver, her mother-in-law is a old lady, and there is no other person who has to look after her. There are so many number of cases like this, Sudha, in Karnataka. 14 lakh people, imagine 14 lakh people have been, their BPL cards have been cancelled. So imagine how many number of people are suffering today because of this health issues and regarding food, everything. Right. So many things are there. So, and let me tell you, Sudha, because of the strong opposition of our government, they have given back the Muda plots. Because of that, they told they are going to take back the notices of the Govt, but in fact they have they had given more notices. Okay, so whatever they're saying, we are going to cancel, we are going to stop the BPL card cancellation as of now, or we are going to issue it back and all. This is all just the talk in the air.
All right,
they're not
Satya,
going to do anything as such.
Okay, I'll come to you, Sudha, once again. You've made a very good opening remark. And Satya Prakash, how can you start something like this? Did you even give notices to people about this woman who's, very helpless and, like Sudha said, is apparently suffering from cancer? Did she get a notice, or will she see a dream that, her BPL card will be cancelled? I mean, the thing is, a lot of people are saying this, that without no notices, without visiting their homes, suddenly you descended upon them and said, okay, your card has been cancelled. Why? What is the method to the madness, Satya?
See, right now where the Food and Civil Supplies Ministry is very clear, and you yourself have played the video. Who are the cards that are going to go away from BPL? They are the government servants. All the government servants are already covered under the government health scheme, whichever is possible. Second thing is the income tax payers. Now we have to say, and Sudha Halkai has to come back and say, if that concerned woman who is there in whichever hospital that she is claiming is she an income tax assessee? If she is an income tax assessee and she has paid income tax, you tell me, what should we do?
No, but wait a minute, Satya. I have to take a break. Satya. I'm going to come back to you, I promise. But let me add one line here. What Mr. Muniappa said, it is all after the game is over. Why was this not done initially? If I don't have information, it's like demonetization. You went on and on. I suffered. Suddenly in November, I was told tomorrow all these notes will be defunct. I had to stand in queues. Please inform. Time for me to take a break. But when I come back, I go back to Satya Prakash, spokesperson for the KPCC. And the topic is the legit and ineligible BPL cards which are getting cancelled. Why is the question?
how do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
The next Indian icons, beating everyone on the globe. Prepare for breathtaking performance. B6E and XEV9E, Mahindra's electric origin SUVs. Catch them at Unlimit India.
A vision built on resilience. An economy powered by innovation and industry. This is the story of Make in India. Baba Kalyani, a leader in Indian manufacturing, driving the future of Make in India. Join him as he redefines India's path to global industry. The Coach Speak.
All right, that's the story that we are following. BJP threatens to lock government offices if legit BPL cards are cancelled. Let me now go across to Satyaprakash, whom I was speaking with before I took a break. Satyaprakash, like I said, this information should have been given beforehand. You know, you've already apparently cancelled for 11 lakh BPL cards, and how are you going to, what is the method to restore them back? Suppose you made a mistake. Of course you made a mistake. How will you restore them back? See, don't you think it's super complicated?
See, first let me come to tell you something very important, that none of the BPL cards will be, suddenly moved out. Most of these 11 lakh BPL cards will be first moved to APL. That means even if it is an APL card, still that particular patient will be covered under the Pradhan Mantri, that Yojana, whichever is there, that medical scheme. Now, if there are some emergencies where, the BPL card is already undergoing treatment, such cases, what will be the percentage? 1%, 0.5%, that the concerned ministers will, or the concerned directors of that hospital will take a call on that. So what we are trying to tell is this is an ongoing exercise. This exercise has been going on for the last 1 year, identifying all the fake cards. Government also has given a lot of, advertisements saying that all those guys who are government employees, who are paying income taxes, who are having four-wheelers, or having houses measuring more than a certain dimension, you need to come out of BPL. Please go for APL because you don't come under the category of BPL.
Right.
You come under the category of above poverty line. This exercise has been going on.
But still there is confusion. I appreciate, Satya, that 1 year you've been telling people, informing people, but still there is so much confusion. A woman who may not be very educated maybe, and she is supposed to know all the information, then you cancel people's cards. You said you've moved to a different category. Don't worry, but they are still panicking. Problem with the government. Your information communication, Dr. Halkai, I want to come to you, Dr. Halkai. You've said, the Chief Minister has assured and said that officials, if officials have cancelled BPL cards, which are actually, genuine and not bogus, they will be restored. I give you that assurance. Now that he has said it, what is the issue according to you, Dr. Halkai?
Sudha, the statement what is given by the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaiah, that the officers, in case if they have given, if they have done the cancellation of the BPL cards, then it will be restored back. That means they have not done a proper meeting with the officials. There is no protocol how to implement the things. There is no damage control wing in this party. It is, absolutely, it has become a jungle raj in Karnataka today, and they're sucking the blood of the common people. The farmers, the women, take it any sector, and the inflation rate is so high. And today, even with the cost of the medicines and the occupancies of the government hospitals also has been increased. They're saying 10 to 15%. But Sudha, it is when there is the occupancy, special occupancy, they have from 750 rupees to they have hiked it to 1,000 rupees for double occupancy, single occupancy 750 to 2,000. That means there's a hike of 50 to 60%. You tell me what good they have done to the people of Karnataka today.
Fine, but then
If they don't know, they should have learned from the government, from the
Dr.
NDA
Sudha,
government, how we have
but the
taken
thing
care
is that,
of the people.
but I want to, so basically I want to stick to this topic because my next story is also on Karnataka. I just want to, I just want to stick to this where you say that you do not believe that it will be restored. And Satya Prakash, if the Chief Minister...
No, I don't believe these people.
Sure.
They are just talking in the air. Even Govt also, they've done the same thing.
Satya, if you feel that, why should the Chief Minister say that even if cards have been cancelled, those officials, we will take action against those officials, which means cards have been cancelled, Satya? You agree?
See, cards have been cancelled from the BPL category, but they have just moved to the APL category.
No, but why is the Chief Minister then adding to the confusion, I say? Like you are telling me, Sudha, we've not cancelled it. For instance, if I have a first class ticket, you'll say you can still travel to Bengaluru. Instead of first class, I moved you to second class with AC. I'm okay. My destination is Bengaluru. Why is the Chief Minister saying cancel cards? I mean, I will take...
APL card benefits are different from BPL card benefits.
See how much confusion. I also don't understand. Of course, I'm bad at all this. But imagine all those poor people. And you know what, Satya, remember one thing. When you're dependent... Yeah, let me add. I will, of course, Satya. Come on, I'll give you time. I'm saying when you're dependent on something, even a small change, you feel, oh my God, Ayo, what do I do? Go ahead, Satya.
The problem what has happened is, on one side the opposition and the media also has no clue which issues we have to raise against this Congress government. They have no clue at all on which issues to raise and which to not. This government is in power to take policy decisions. And policy decisions will be taken.
When?
Central government also will take policy decisions, state government also will take policy decisions.
Yeah, so
in all the decisions that we are going to take on a day-to-day basis. Yesterday or day before, I and you were in the same thing and you complimented, yes, those ineligible cards have to be moved out so that the real beneficiaries get the benefit. But today we are all
Satya, you are a South Indian and so am I. We are taught as a child, you touch your ear like this or you like this. You are touching it like that. That's the whole problem. Simplicity you could have done step by step. No, policy. What policy? This is also policy. If I catch you, then you say that you said this day before. Of course, it's a good thing to say that let the legitimate beneficiaries get the money. But that does not mean that people who are legitimate, their cards are also cancelled. Your Chief Minister is accepting it. No, Satya. He's saying if cards have been cancelled, I will... Now, poor officials will bear the brunt. Those babus will be shunted, transferred. For what? No one. And DKS on the other hand says, oh, BJP only has this work. Why put blame on BJP by Muniyappa and DKS? You do your job well. No, people have voted you in. You cannot have bigger appreciation than that. Dr. Halkai, there is also an allegation from the BJP that the money which is not for development, and I'm witness to this. I remember around year and a half ago where DK said to all the MLAs, no money for this thing. We don't have money. We have to fulfill all the 5 guarantees, Annabhagya, Graha Lakshmi, Graha Jyoti, etc. The BJP is accused, the ruling party or the government, that instead of spending like this and wasting money, around 20,000 crores can be used for releasing grants to MLAs so that they can start their development work. Your comment on that, Dr. Halkai?
Sudha, I have told you these people, they don't know how to take care of the citizens. Okay, and it is proven in the past 75 years, whatever more than 55 years these people have ruled our country and our state, they have done blunders after blunders and they have proven it. So at least in this past 10 years, how our NDA government has performed, they should have learned from it. They tell, no, नकल को भी अकल चाहिए तो इन लोगों को अकल भी नहीं है नकल करने के लिए and one thing you tell me now they're blaming the officers. Muda they blame the officers, Waqf they blame the officers. Earlier also in Siddaramaiah government many bureaucrats, IAS IPS officers committed suicide, Sudha, and now also one person in Tahsildar office committed suicide, Valmiki Nigam Chandrasekhar committed suicide, one more person in Mysore has committed suicide 3 days ago. You tell me the officers are committing suicide along with the farmers. So look at that. Even the educated, most intellectual people are fed up of this, dumb-headed politicians, I must say, or they are so much into appeasement politics that they have forgotten that these people have voted them. So they're obligatory to serve the people of their state. They have taken an oath that they'll take care of their health, they take care of their education, and they'll take care of their food as well.
All right.
Where is all that promises gone?
All right. Okay, Satya, your government, when it came to power, it said we are pro-poor. We are those who are marginalized in society. We'll empower all those who have had no power and no agency. And you had come to actually, you actually ejected a government which was supremely corrupt, and I've done several stories on, on how corrupt they were, and I remember the contractors, and I remember those horrible stories, Dr. Alkai, where I remember Santosh Patel and everything. I mean, God bless his soul. So let's not feel that everything was okay with either dispensation. I want to ask you, you were the one who started Ashraya, didn't you? Ration cards, everything. How are you going to restore this confusion amongst the people? I mean, this is people's BPL. This is the poor, marginalized, disempowered, as it were. What is the forward movement? That's what people are interested in, Satya. Instead of criticizing, I want you to give us hope.
Give me just 2 or 3 minutes.
All right.
I want to challenge all those people who are crying today. Whoever feels that his ration card, he is a true BPL and his ration card is missing, ask him to hold his ration card and stand in front of his house that he is living. Then you will come to know what sort of a house he is living. Ask him to flash his PAN card and Aadhaar card. We will come to know how much of balance is there in his bank, how much of transaction he is doing every day, how much of water bill he is paying, how much of electricity bill he is paying, how many houses he has given on rent. So the problem is here, Sudha Halkai has said, you have to learn from nakal, akal se nakal wala se nakal karne ka akal se karna hai. We don't want to follow Narendra Modi. 10 years of Narendra Modi is a failed government on all accounts. Look at the exports. They are no better than the 10-year rule of MMS. Manmohan Singh. Look at the GDP. We gave 8 plus GDP for 10 consistent years, and look at your GDP. State GDP is Karnataka state GDP is 1 or 2 points more than your national GDP. Look at exports. Look at where your health standards.
Satya, then you say, Sudha, you don't give me time. Instead of comparing, give us hope, I say. I said, how are you going to correct this anomaly? Simple.
How they are going to give it? It's as simple as that.
All right, I think we've lost connection to Satya Prakash. Sudha Alkai, like he said, I want to, if your government was in power, tell us, how will you restore this? What will you do to solve this?
See, first and foremost, Sudha, we cannot cancel it overnight like that. First we have to come up with, we have to make a committee, eligible committee, and then we have to sort out the things, and not once, twice, thrice, everything has to be cross-checked, whether they are taxpayers, whether they have four-wheelers or whatever terms and conditions that are there that the BPL card holders should have. That all should be checked 3 times, I'm saying, not once. So once everything fits into that, they need to be given a notice. Then that has to be cancelled. Not 1 notice, 2 notice. All of a sudden, overnight, they cannot cancel BPL cards because the sufferers are more over here than the beneficiaries.
All right. Okay. Satya is back. Satya, I said, please, let's not do politics anymore. Just tell me, what is the forward movement on this?
The forward movement is very clear. You both only tell whether we have to weed these cards out or no. Let us come to one conclusion in this debate only. You tell me first. Should we weed these cards or no?
Should we do what? Your audio is not clear.
Should we weed these cards out or no? All the ineligible cards.
You should weed out cards, but you should have given them notices. You should have communicated. You did not. You did not. Just by putting a poster. No. Did your officers go? Did the government officers go? Everyone is reading newspaper, is it?
Those who pay taxes are not eligible to hold BPL cards.
Yeah. People have to read newspapers and say, why? When you are campaigning, don't you go door to door?
We cannot go to every house and tell no.
Why during campaigning, Satya, you go door to door, no? Brother, what is this?
That we do once in 5 years.
This is people oriented. You are supposed to do it. You have funds to do it. You basically did not. I think your intention was superb.
I think the problem is with you. You want to pick up all the policies on everyday basis. We will have policies on everyday basis. You want to tell that these policies will affect people, and we are doing these policies because of guarantees. What has guarantees got to do with this? ineligible people who should not be in the BPL category.
Who
They are
is
there for
saying?
donkeys years,
Satya
and this
Prakash.
BJP is sleeping.
Satya,
The
you can
BJP guys are
always.
sleeping.
Satya.
Modi
Modi.
himself
Where did Modi come
has
into
asked
all
the
this? I
state
don't
governments
understand.
to weed out 4.7 crore fake BPL cards.
All
Modi
right.
himself has said.
Huh?
Now,
So
what
you
is
are
it- what is
following
this-
Modi now, but you've not
Sudha
followed the
Ankar is
process that he said you should. Somewhere there is a mistake.
What is the what should
Correct
be the
it.
process? What should
Correct
be the
it.
process?
Correct the mistake. That's all I'm saying. I'm asking you for a positive.
Exactly.
Correct it.
That is exactly what we have done. Now we have identified if few percentage of them have some problem, they can always go to the PDS and say, I am a true beneficiary. Why are you removing it? We will restore it.
But they are
We
not
will do
getting
an
good
audit and
responses.
restore it.
Otherwise, why should they come in front of the media and say, listen, I'm dying of cancers. Listen, I'm disabled. Where do I go? What about old, disabled, ailing people? See, it's very complicated, Satya Prakash. I'm not saying that you've done your intention was superb, but the method to the madness was all wrong.
Like that, you can pick up 100 holes in every policies that we do, and for 100 times you can keep on telling, did you go to the people, did you go to the people, did you go to the people?
All right, I think
that anyone can do, any Tom, Dick and Harry can do on a daily basis.
We are not talking about Tom, Dick and Harry. We are talking about the people of Karnataka, Kannadigas. They voted you in. You owe them. Thank you, Satya Prakash ji, and thank you, Dr. Sudha Alkai. I have to move on. It's not about getting angry. It's about how do we make it right?
They're frustrated. That's it, Sudha.
I hope they do it. And the next story is also about Karnataka. Look at this. Karnataka Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa was questioned by a student for not speaking in Kannada, and an enraged Madhu Bangarappa ordered action. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Hello, what's up everyone? While writing lifestyle articles, I am Shanvi Arora. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to our show, Love It or List It. That happens to be my vlog as well. I am Shanvi Arora, a lifestyle content writer and a part-time vlogger. While writing for lifestyle articles, my interest on the topic took me to vlogging for the same. So, we are gonna go and explore really fun lifestyle upgrades for you guys. Let's go guys. Mix कर दिया.
यही मौका है बिजनेस को बढ़ाने का, पर पैसा.
अपनी सुपर पावर यूज करने का टाइम आ गया है.
आप टेंशन मत लीजिए. IIFL फाइनेंस से झटपट गोल्ड लोन लीजिए और बिजनेस आगे बढ़ाइए.
आपके जैसे सुपर हीरोज ऐसी छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम से थोड़ी ना रुकते हैं. इसीलिए लाइफ जब भी आगे बढ़ने का मौका दे तो अपनी सुपर पावर, अपना गोल्ड यूज करिए और IIFL फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए. IIFL फाइनेंस करता है सीधी बात.
The world stands at an energy crossroads. Over 70% of global emissions stem from traditional energy sources. The call for renewable energy is urgent, undeniable. BC Tripathi is answering that call for change, a pioneer in green energy, fueling sustainable growth. Join him as he leads the energy transition to a greener future. The Coach Speak.
At a time when Kannada pride has taken precedence, with many reiterating their Kannada identity, remember, two actors had actually clashed over it almost a year and a half ago. Then there was a recent episode of how an auto rickshaw driver had also warned someone, speak in Kannada, don't speak in English or Hindi. So therefore, like I said, Kannadiga pride is taking precedence. The state education minister, Madhu Bangarappa, raked up a controversy ordering action against a student during an online interaction. This happened at the launch event of the state's free online NEET CET coaching for government pre-degree college students at the Vidhana Sauda on the 20th of November. Now, even as Madhu Bangarappa was interacting with students, it was an online interaction, a voice was heard suddenly telling the minister that he does not speak Kannada properly. Upon hearing this, Bangarappa said, who's saying that? Am I speaking in Urdu now? Those people on TV will say, put that and run it. Who said that I do not know Kannada? Record it. Take action against them. That was very stupid. This has to be taken very seriously. I will not be silent and let it go. Let's take a look at the video, then I come back.
ಏನಿಗೆ ಉರ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆ ಟಿವಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಭರತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾರು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದೆಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್. ನಾಚಿಕೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರು ಅವರು ಟೀಚರ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ BO, ನೋ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಪ್ ವೆರಿ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ವಿದ್ಯಾಮಂತ್ರಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಅವನು. ಯಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಹಾಂ ನೋ ನೋ ಯಾ ದಿಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನೋ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ.
How sensitive is he? Later, the minister was seen instructing Principal Secretary Ritesh Kumar to pursue the matter, and apparently, the officials of the Education Department went looking for the student who made the statement. Now, the BJP, on the other hand, condemned the minister's reaction to the question. BJP leader Vasnagowda Patil Yatnal expressed his outrage on a post on X and said, it is known to the state that the education minister does not speak Kannada. The fact that the minister told in front of the media to take action against a student for telling a minister that he does not speak Kannada shows how dishonest he is. The minister should learn to speak, write, read and communicate in Kannada clearly. Constructive criticism from both students and journalists should be accepted. In a democracy, everyone, including students, has freedom of speech. And for more on this, let me now go across to my colleague, Mohammad Wajiullah. Waji, thanks so much for joining us on this broadcast. How sensitive is he? But I've heard even, because see, knowing Kannada is very important in Karnataka, because there is this Kannada pride, we are Kannadigas. You wear it on your sleeve. You are a Kannadiga also. But I've heard that Madhu Bangarappa actually cannot speak Kannada very fluently. Is that right?
In one of his interviews, he has accepted that fact that he's not that fluent in Kannada. But what we see about this particular incident is something that I also don't have words for. Expecting something like this from an education minister is really very surprising, because he has to be sensitive to the students. He has to take it in that right spirit. Students are youngsters. They could say anything at any point of time. But him being an elderly person, somebody who has the mind and brains for things, should have looked at it in a different way, called him up, spoken to him, said these are not the ways you talk to an elderly person. There could be a lot of ways he could have dealt with this issue. But at that particular point of time, the rage in which he said that there should be an action that should be taken against him, record that, this is very stupid, find out. We still have no idea who that person is. It was an online class. It was somebody from the screen, because he was speaking to a lot of students from different districts also. And somebody spotted out that comment over there, and he really took it to heart. That is something for a minister. He should have had a thick skin and should have given it in a brilliant way if he was really qualified enough or well aware enough of handling the situation. This clearly gives an idea of how sensitive he is, or how like you said before you went on the break, how the cookie crumbled, and this is how it crumbled.
Yes, I think it's very immature of him to have said that to a student. Thank you so much, Mohammad Wajiullah, and for joining us on this broadcast and bringing us up to speed on this entire issue about how Madhu Bangarappa lost his school. The next story coming up. Charges at government hospital in Karnataka hiked. Very, very worrisome indeed. That's the next story. All right. Government hospital charges have been hiked in Karnataka. The Karnataka government somehow seems to be jumping from one controversy to another. After recent controversies over the 4% Muslim quota proposal and then the removal of BPL cards which are legitimate, the latest decision by the Siddaramaiah government to hike the cost of treatment and diagnostic tests at government hospitals by 20% has actually irked and worried a lot of people. The hike, which took effect recently, applies to hospitals affiliated to the Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute, which is BMCRI, and other medical institutions across the state. As per the government, the price revision aims to support the maintenance of these hospitals and was necessitated by rising maintenance cost over a period of 5 to 6 years when the prices were last hiked. With these hikes, certain specialized treatments, surgeries, diagnostic tests and scans have become rather expensive. For example, ward charges have increased because food is now included in inpatient charges, etc., etc., etc. Lots of charges have increased, and I think it will have an impact on people. Even OPD registration charges have now doubled. And to speak more on this, we've got lots of requests that we have to kind of, do this story. Therefore, here we are with an expert, Dr. S.M. Prasad, former Secretary, IMA Karnataka, and who's a consultant pediatrician. Dr. Prasad, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Dr. Prasad, I know that this hike has happened after almost 5 or 6 years, if I'm not wrong. And the cost of everything has gone up. But my whole question is that, government hospitals were built, are in operation to serve the poor. For people like me who's privileged, and I'm saying it, I can afford 100 rupees hike. But for the poor people and those who have BPL cards, even 2 rupees is a lot of money, Dr. Prasad.
Yeah, I agree with you. The thing, what has happened, sudden increase of 20%, definitely it is going to affect especially the public, especially the poor section of the society, because the right to life, right to health is under our constitution. So sudden rise, definitely our public will not accept this. So they say that increase in the fee will develop the hospitals or upkeep the hospitals. Do you have an accountability for that? It has happened 5-6 years back. How much an improvement did it take place just by increasing the patient fee or the fee to the laboratory or the other hospital facilities? If you think, see, most of these government hospitals where we are, so here it is a teaching bed. So the students are also learning from the patients.
Right. I also want to, Dr. Prasad, one thing is there, sorry to interrupt you. Dr. Prasad, there are people, doctors who are saying, listen, BPL cards the government will take care of. Of course, we know the confusion which is there in your state about BPL cards. They said non-BPL cards holders will feel a little pinch. Do you think the pinch is little? OPD charges registration has been increased. You think that is little, Dr. Prasad?
Yeah, no, it will definitely affect because it's so difficult even to upload their data in the BPL cards. That is what I have heard in the last 3 to 4 years almost. See, there's so much difficulty for especially the poor section of the society.
Yeah.
So I feel that they should take it and they need to balance. Just by increasing 20%, are we going to improve the facilities in the government hospitals? I don't think so.
But they are saying, for instance now, Dr. Prasad, they are saying food is included. Earlier, poor people will carry tiffin boxes and eat there and bring food from home, which I think is safe. But then, I can get into a boutique hospital and get really a 5-star kind of a meal. But just because you are giving some food to them, let's say rice, anna and dal and whatever, that does not mean that you hike these prices by 20%, Dr. Prasad. For them, it is a major thing. They'll say, don't give us food, bring down the prices.
Yeah, it is. They should balance it. They should not just increase like that. Because as I told you, the right to life, right to health is written under our constitution. Especially government hospitals, the government institutions, teaching bed hospitals, we have to think 100 times before raising anything.
You know, let me, what Dr. Prasad is saying, ladies and gentlemen, let me just read a statistic to you. Single bed ward charges, single bed special ward charges have been raised from 750 to 2000 rupees. And I am presuming that the food is included in the 750 to 2000 rupees. Can you imagine the burden that a poor person will have to go through it? Doctor, but what is the way out? See, the cost of living has gone up. For hospitals also it's the same. Lot of patients come. Like you say, you know, there are also trainee doctors who are training. There is additional, maybe they are paid stipends, everything. What is the way to balance it out, Dr. Prasad? Where does the government go for funds?
See, they need to raise the funds in some other way. See, they can start some other, one more wing of a hospital where there is a privatization, a corporate hospital thing like that, or a corporation hospital where all the facilities are there. They can charge there, not for the teaching beds. Definitely, I don't agree to charge for any teaching hospitals because the patient, we are learning from the patients. Because medical students are learning from the patients. And also, there are so many people who are there. So definitely public will not agree if they suddenly rise even the OPD, even the laboratory charges, already it is high. So, and some of the patients are very poor. It doesn't mean that we have come up in a very good way so that every citizen can pay for that. There are so many poor sections of the society, especially rural. It is very difficult. It's not that easy, especially.
Dr. Prasad, your colleagues are saying, like Dr. Sujata Rathod, who, you know, is very well known and has done a lot of shows with me. She's saying that what do we do about upkeep of these hospitals? I mean, we have to also see that these hospitals, you know, run, and the last revision was done 5 to 6 years ago. So it's time now to revise. But then the point is that the inflation has gone up, the richer have gotten richer and the poorer have gone poorer. So, you know, isn't there some kind of a balance that you will look at? Of course, I know that rice used to sell for 1 rupee for 10 kilos and today it is like, you know what the price is. But then there has to, that's why we have PDS and public distribution system and scheme for the poor. I think this is very unfair on the poor people, Dr. S.M. Prasad.
Definitely, I agree. It is unfair for our poor people. And even they need not charge for OPD cards. They need not charge for the regular routine investigations. If it is a very specialized investigation involving an instrument where it is very expensive to maintain, there only they can charge, not for the regular OPD basis, OPD cards. Because the right to life, where is where we are maintaining the right to life and where is the thing to right to health? Under constitution, we need to maintain, especially in the government hospitals. We agree in other hospitals, they have to charge, they have to maintain.
Right.
But not in a government setup, not in a teaching hospitals. Especially run by the government sector. Okay.
On that note, Dr. S.M. Prasad, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you, sir. Namaskara.
Thank you. Namaskar.
And with that, that's all we have from across the country about all the news that you get only on this show called The South Indian, how the South Indian states are doing. Thanks so much for watching. Vanakkam.
India spends $75 billion on foreign cargo vessels.
$71 billion per annum. You know, that's a lot of money.
Imagine a situation where 95% of our cargo is coming on ships which are not owned by us. If we are still not prepared, if someone were to say that we are not going to give you ships, then we'll be stuck. So the entire nation's economy is at risk.
We are very clear that shipping is also strategic, because without that you can't really be the third largest economy in the world.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
A world at the crossroads of change, where growth must meet responsibility. The future demands sustainable solutions. Cem Özdemir leads the charge in sustainable agriculture. A voice for ethical growth, a vision for the future. Join him as he maps the agenda for sustainable progress. Ministerial address.
ये किसान की मजबूरी है इसको जलाना बिल्कुल नहीं चाहता।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश का पालन करें, हम कानून के दायरे में रहकर काम करें, लेकिन हमारे लिए तो नहीं कोई कर रहा।